Today, we will be looking at ratio and proportion. What is a ratio? A ratio is a relation that is used to compare the sizes of two or more quantities. Please note, we generally separate the two numbers in the ratio with a colon. In this picture, there are 4 boys, 3 girls, and together I have 7 children. So we are going to find the ratio of boys to girls, girls to boys, and girls to children. What is the ratio of boys to girls? In this picture, I have 4 boys and 3 girls. So the ratio of boys to girls would be 4 to 3. Let us look at the second, the ratio of girls to boys. I have 3 girls and 4 boys. So the ratio of girls to boys would be 3 to 4. What is the ratio of girls to children? Did I hear 3 to 7? Great job. There are 3 girls and 7 children. So the ratio of girls to children would be 3 to 7. Let us look at a few more examples. A cake recipe requires twice as much flour as margarine. What is the ratio of flour to margarine? Did I hear 2 to 1? You are correct. So the ratio of flour to margarine is 2 to 1. Let us look at another example. A school class contains 12 girls and 20 boys. We are required to find the ratio of A, girls to boys, and B, boys to students. So for part A, we have 12 girls and 20 boys. So the ratio of girls to boys would be 12 to 20. But please note, if a ratio can be simplified, we should simplify it. But how do we do this? We are going to divide each term in the ratio by the HCF of these terms. So look, 12 and 20. What is the highest common factor of these two numbers? We can divide both numbers by 4. So 12 divided by 4 is 3, and 20 divided by 4 is 5. So the ratio of girls to boys in its simplest form is 3 to 5. Let us look at part B. You may pause the video at this time and attempt this question. Great job. Let us see if our answers are the same. So there are 20 boys and 32 students in this class. So the ratio of boys to students would be 20 to 32. But can this be simplified? Yes, it can. What is the highest common factor of 20 and 32? Did I hear 4? Great job. So we are going to divide both numbers by 4. So 20 divided by 4 is 5, and 32 divided by 4 is 8. So the ratio of boys to girls in its simplest form is 5:8. Excellent. Let us look at proportions. What is a proportion? A proportion is a mathematical statement equating two ratios. So, when sharing a quantity in a given ratio, it is useful to work out the value of one part first. If you are able to find the value of one part of the quantity being shared, you are able to use this information to answer the question that is given. So let us note a few things. If you are given the sum, to find one part, we are going to divide the sum that was given by the sum of the ratio. If you are given the largest share, to find one part, we are going to divide the largest share by the largest ratio. And if you are given the smallest share, to find one part, we are going to divide the smallest share by the smallest ratio. Please note that what is being shared is the numerator and the corresponding ratio is the denominator. Let us look at a few examples. In this example, an estate valued at $75,000 is divided among 3 children. The names of these children are Natasha, Natalie, and Nadia in the ratio 5:8:2 respectively. We are asked to calculate the amount each receives. So Natasha's ratio is 5, Natalie's ratio is 8, and Nadia's ratio is 2, meaning Natasha received 5 parts of the $75,000. Natalie received 8 parts of the $75,000, and Nadia received 2 parts of the $75,000. You may pause the video at this time and answer this question. Great job. Let us see if our answers are the same. So, what were we given? We were given that the sum of the money to be shared is $75,000. We also know that the sum of the ratio is 5 plus 8 plus 2 is equal to 15. In other words, this means that this $75,000 will be shared into 15 parts. So to find one part, I am going to be dividing the sum of money by the sum of the ratio. So $75,000 divided by 15 parts is $5,000. This means one part of the $75,000 is $5,000. The question requires us to calculate the amount each person receives. So Natasha receives 5 parts. So we are going to multiply the 5,000 by 5, which is equal to $25,000. Natalie received 8 parts. So to find Natalie's share, we are going to multiply the 5,000 by 8, which gives $40,000. And we can find what Nadia's share is. Nadia received 2 parts. So if Nadia received 2 parts, it would be 5,000 times 2, which gives $10,000. Did you get these for your answer? Great job. Let us look at another example. In this example, it states a piece of wood is divided into 3 pieces in the ratio 3:4:2. The length of the longest piece is 72 centimeters. We are required to calculate the length of the piece of wood. You may pause your video at this time and attempt this question. We will check your solution at the end of this question. We were given the length of the longest piece of wood. And the length of the longest piece of wood is 72 centimeters. If we were given the longest piece of wood, please note we need the longest ratio. And the longest ratio in this example is 4. Now that we know the longest piece and the longest ratio, we can find 1 part. So 1 part is equal to the longest piece divided by the longest ratio. So 72 centimeters divided by 4 is equal to 18 centimeters. Therefore, 1 part is 18 centimeters. The question requires us to calculate the length of the piece of wood. So to calculate the length of the piece of wood, we are going to multiply 1 part by the total parts. So in this example, the wood is broken into 9 parts. So we are going to multiply 18 centimeters for 1 part times 9 parts. So my answer is 162 centimeters. Did you get 162 centimeters for your answer? Absolutely brilliant. Let us look at another example. In this question, a sum of money was to be shared among 3 friends, Albert, Michael, and Moses, in the ratio 3:5:6. If Michael received $196 more than Albert, find the sum of money shared. You may pause the video at this time and attempt the question. Great job. Let us see if our answers are the same. So we know that Michael received $196 more than Albert. If we know that Michael received $196 more than Albert, my question is, how many parts more did Michael receive than Albert? So Michael received 2 parts more than Albert. How do I know this? Michael received 5 parts. And Albert received 3 parts. So 5 take 3 is equal to 2. So Michael received 2 parts more than Albert. So now that we know how many parts Michael received more than Albert, we can find what 1 part is. To find 1 part, we are going to divide 196 by 2, which gives me 98. So now that we know what one part is, we can find the sum of money that was shared. So there are 14 parts in total. So we simply multiply the value of one part, which is 98, by 14, which gives me 1,372. Thank you guys for watching. See you in our next video.